Hello, I hope you're all well. Welcome to another Spooked Out video. So I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I'm reading a piece which is a channel message, but it's in story form. And it's part of my Knight of Swords book, which is a line from The Hidden Child, which is about a message I channeled the other day, direct from the universe, which you may have seen on my other channels, channeled stories, where you get the reading with that message, or I showcased it on my main channel at Sarah Con Ross. So you might want to check that out first, and the first part on either of those channels. So this is another part. I want to showcase it on here because I've just done the reading part of it and the actual I'm saying reading, like as in spiritual reading on it, and then the actual reading out of the chapter that I did. And it was talking about divine feminine, divine masculine again, but drawing on one of my spooky experiences with this creepy guy that keeps coming in and out. Now we've got some action going on here. One of those UAP things. I can see people here. There's something going on the TV that you may see as well. Train your eyes. Some light, purple light. Something always tries to form on these sticks here. Yeah, so I will do a quick rendition of some things I've seen. I have pushed them out of the way at the moment, though. Because I'm a bit annoyed. Again, there's somebody sitting on my sofa. Things in personal life, but basically this reading is about, I didn't realize I wrote this book back in 2009, and I was seeing lights, I was all sorts of things. I actually started seeing the characters for real, and this is where I met my main guy Nathan. It's actually his name in it, that's why I call him Nathan, because he came as my character first. And yeah, so you might, but it talks about this creepy guy, and as I was reading it, I was sort of pausing a couple of times because I realised it was talking about this guy and this triangle relationship. But check the other bits out. So I've had some strange things the other night. I know my son is coming more and more online, getting messages and stuff. Now we watched The Rig the other night, okay? So you've got to watch when you watch things when you become spiritual, because even though it looks, you know, benign, nothing spooky, nothing whatever, you can still make contact with somebody or something. I watched a series about, oh gosh, was it submarine, something to do with a submarine and a murder being committed on it, and this woman had to go on the submarine and find out what was going on. And I remember watching the TV, and I could see on the TV this submariner, and I see a submariner come in. It's weird, my son even knows one for real. And he was sitting behind this woman like this, and he was looking out from the screen. These stars, it's hilarious, they don't know. Now I have spirit go over the screen, but there's a difference when you know that they are a spirit that's been caught on camera. I've seen orbs caught on camera that people have ignored everything. But this person was there. And then I started to see, I had these strange images of a guy walking around with a gun, completely polished, everything, the little hat on, you know, the uniform. And this was physically, the image was physically on the air, and I could see into this submarine. It's like it was a portal into this submarine. And he wanted it to be known, and he's around, he's over there, he comes in and out all the time. There is some sort of story I have to write with a submarine. We keep getting messages about submarines on World Predictions, the one that's stalking around the UK that I keep talking about from Russia. So there's all that going on, and I had that. But the other day I watched The Rig. I love The Rig. If you haven't watched it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's brilliant. It's really good. Watched the first series, and I watched the penultimate one the other day. Watched the last one last night. It was really good. And my son wasn't very well in the night, and he came to sleep on the sofa. and watch the TV, whatever. And then he drifted off. Now, I was lying in bed and I kept waking up, and I knew somebody was walking around, and then they came in here and I could see them leaning over my son like that. And they were a rig worker, and they were all, they were in orange. Excuse me, tickly throat. They were all in orange, but it was like grimy, dirty all over, and trying to get attention. And it was almost like, I was like, oh, my son. And he had a very strange experience, and I know what was good. I will tell you about that in a minute. But I'm lying in bed, so I can see this in my mind. I thought, oh my God. And it's almost like whoever stands guard in my room, spirit-wise, they came rushing out. And the next thing I knew, this guy was outside, sitting out there. And when I see outside in the night, it's complete daylight. It's bizarre. And so I could see him sitting there. And my son said that twice in the night, he saw the light go on out here, the security light, which is kind of scary. It's really scary. There's a gate up there. I've had it happen to me when I'm alone, and the light keeps going on and off. It does at the back. Now, yes, cats come down and all of that stuff, but normally he doesn't worry about it. Let's say it's a cat, but for some reason he was on edge. Now, I was seeing that go on. He says, it's either one of your spooks or them, or a cat came in or something that I don't know, but he says it happened 2 or 3 times through the night. And I saw this guy. They're always removing people, and they take them out the door, and then they're up the top and away. So I found that quite interesting. And it's broad daylight when I see them go out there. It's very strange. So that was happening. A lot of strange people wandering around. I've seen a lot about water again. Ships and things like that. They keep showing me stuff like that. A lot about the water. I'm not being heard about the rising tides and the waters that are going to affect around the coastlines, and these tsunamis that are going to come in and stuff like that. There is a definite thing this year about rising tides, water, floods. I've talked about my world predictions, tsunamis, and I've said where they're supposed to be. So there's a lot coming in about water and things being uncovered, and the invisible becoming visible, the dark becoming visible, but what's lurking in the dark becoming visible. Very strange. The way they're bringing the messages through is very, very strange. We talk about, that this planet operates on light and dark, but there is an enemy that is beyond light and dark that comes in to manipulate everything. And this is what they're talking about all the time. Something very primal. Something hidden. Something primal that stalks the planet, that stalks the divine feminine, that stalks the world. So without further ado, if you listen to this and then the reading afterwards, we go into it. Okay? So check that out, and we'll try and uncover what this primal thing is. What do I call it there? Judgment. Don't know what that's all about. This is a message. I'm getting Archangel Gabriel vibes. A message of fire. Hell, damnation? Oh, no. No. But it's something coming, making itself visible now. So, creepy. Check it out then. And the books are going to be available soon. I explain about all of that as well. And take care of yourselves. if you don't go on to the next bit, I really hope you do and you listen to it. Thanks for watching this far. That's great as well. Thank you. Please like, share, subscribe. But I really love you to listen to this and then go on to the reading. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. So, Knight of Swords. Chapter 3. My heart was filled with terror. So far I believed Constance to be safe. Perhaps the black cloud in her body had taken her somewhere else, but it wasn't to be. The man and I were no longer alone. She came to stand beside me. I could smell her intoxicating scent of jasmine swirl around my consciousness like a breath of fresh air. It wiped away the putrid smell of death and violence from the atmosphere. I could not deny the intensity of the anger I felt when the man reached out to touch Constance. To my relief, she backed away from him, unencumbered. And like my own, her movement appeared not to be restrained or controlled like a puppet. Her emerald eyes flicked from poor Sophie's dead body back to the dark, blood-soaked figure of the vampire. Her face was contorted with shock and grief. Tears flowed abundantly from her eyes. Juliet, I have waited for so long. Come to me, child, the man offered. She is not Juliet, I shouted at him. Do not touch her. He laughed, displaying his blood-soaked sharp teeth. You are wrong, Nathan. She is Juliet, my Juliet, he roared. She does not belong to you. No, she does not belong to me or you, only to herself. I have just met this woman tonight, and she is not Juliet. Tell him, the man thundered at her. He is right. I am Juliet. My first name is Constance, but I hate it. It is such a frightful name. I prefer to use my middle name, Juliet. I stared at her. My instinct was to pull her close to me and protect her from the monster, but I couldn't move. Who are you? What have you done? It is blasphemy for you to wear the vestments of the church. How can I see you? She demanded of the killer without fear. The clergyman's twisted love for Juliet threatened to overwhelm him. I could feel his strong emotions swirling in my mind like a cyclone. At last he had found her. After vainly trying for months to psychically link with her mind, he had at last become successful. I was more than fearful for her. You do not understand the gifts of our kind or the connection between you both that is to blossom. He laughed out loud again. Of course you do not. He took another step towards us and growled. The truth has been hidden from you. The killer's eyes looked at her quizzically. He told her softly, you really don't know, do you? You are as innocent as your valiant protector and knight who will come to learn that his womanizing days are now over. No longer will he search for you in every woman he beds. He will realize that his heart will come to beat for you alone. He turned and pointed at me. The Book of Talis has appointed you as Juliet's mate, but I will rewrite it. Juliet should have been mine. She belongs to me, and I will not rest until her immense power and love is mine. I will not be wronged again. Juliet followed the direction he pointed his finger and rested her eyes upon me. Her pretty features tightened with further anxiety. Then she frowned, put her hands to her head and shook it. No, this isn't real. This is a dream, a nightmare. I will wake in a moment. Juliet, wake up, she told herself loudly. I have no power and I do not even know this man. We are not to be together. The vampire laughed. You have no choice in the matter. Only I can prevent it. He's your one true mate and you his. It is the way of our race. You will come to learn that your destinies and mine are bound together. They cannot be broken. Your meeting and this seance tonight was not by chance. Fate arranges it all. He spoke eloquently. I can assure you, Juliet, my love. He gestured at the bloody scene before us. This is all very real. You are here, or at least a part of your souls have travelled here at my command, because I am in both of your minds. Our race, Juliet whispered to herself, her eyes clouded with confusion. She shook her head again and glared at him defiantly. I could not help but admire her courage. I am human, and I have a heart. You, sir, are nothing but a monster. He cut off her speech with a wave of his hand and the snap of his voice. You try my patience, Juliet. I have much planned for our reunion. He walked towards her, his vile fingers outstretched to take her hand. My heart began to pound with fear for her, his words still confused in my mind, yet provoking a strange, forgotten knowledge that he spoke the truth. I shouted out a fierce warning to him. Do not touch her, so help me, I will kill you. The man turned to me. His eyes narrowed. "You will do nothing to me," he hissed. I could barely contain my anger within my tone, despite the danger involved in provoking the monster. I could not bear it if he touched her. "I told you I will find a way to kill you. That I promise you. You will try and fail." He reached out for Juliet once more. She stared fearfully at his long, blackened fingernails. "Juliet, run. Do all you can to remove him from your mind. Guard your thoughts. You have my word. I will protect you. Run, please. Run, and do not stop. You will wake from this vision." The instructions fell easily from my mouth, as though I instinctively knew how to dispel the vampire's hold on her. What was happening to me? In this one moment, my whole life was altering and reshaping into something I did not recognize. Juliet stared at me with wild eyes. Briefly, the hesitation got the better of her senses. Then she turned and ran as the man sprang forward to catch her. The killer growled as though he was in tormented pain, but he did not follow her. I suddenly felt his hand around my throat. "You are becoming tiresome, Lord Valancourt. She may run, but she can never escape." I will tell you why I'm pausing afterwards. I'm realizing a lot of very strange things here. And getting messages, and I will tell you afterwards. For a second, I could not breathe as his grip tightened. I desperately willed myself awake, taking heed of my own instructions, forcing the man's image from my mind with strength. I was successful. I sat up in my seat with a jolt. Everyone around the table was looking at myself and Juliet, who was also awake, our hands still clasped tightly together. Some of the ladies were crying, and the men appeared terrified. "Who are you both?" Madame Rasmussen asked with a trembling, almost hysterical voice. "Your gifts are more powerful than I have ever bared witness to. I do not know what you are." I didn't answer. My eyes were directed towards a shimmering black and white image floating above the table inside the liquid cloud, depicting the scene Juliet and I had just been part of. The vampire looked down at us with dark, angry eyes, prompting screams, and many of the ladies and men around us to rush from the room. My own eyes widened in shock, but the image was not to stay. It wavered and rose, as did the strange cloud, to vanish just before it reached the ceiling. Everyone removed their hands from the table. Only Juliet still held mine, as if she was holding on for dear life. "What are we?" she asked. "There is a connection between us. I can feel it. Is it true what he said? Can you feel it?" I nodded. "Yes, I do. We must talk in private." The seance had proved a catalyst to something buried deep inside of me. I now felt an affinity with this woman I had never experienced with another. I did not know the reason for it, only the sudden conviction that our destinies were crossed. It was a calling I could not just simply dismiss, even though I tried. I was afraid of feeling for a woman so strongly, but it was as though some part of me had been waiting for this connection to be revealed. Maybe this was why I had not been able to settle, just as the vampire had told me. I had been waiting for Juliet to enter my life. I didn't want to consider it. This feeling had to be nonsense, a flight of malicious fancy, but it was calling out from my blood. I knew that if I was to allow any harm to befall Juliet, my own life would be in peril, but only her own mattered to me now. My instinct was fierce. It rose through my body to scream loudly in my mind, as though her presence had provoked it. I would, without fear, protect her with my life, willingly forsaking both my life and all others for the protection of hers alone. She had in an instant unveiled all meaning to my life and its mission, a code only she had been able to unlock. It was madness. I would have condemned any man to feel so foolishly. I did not have any acquaintance with this woman, but I knew, I understood what I had to do. I could not ignore this instinct. It filled me with a newfound honour I had let go of a long time ago, and courage. But I was not ready to acknowledge the idea that we were both somehow part of the same race and animal as the vampire. Juliet nodded. "Yes, we must. I knew before the séance started he would come. I have been dreaming about him and his murders, and I have heard him calling out to me in my sleep. I wanted to know more. Thank you for not letting go of me." She turned quickly to her uncle sitting on the to her father, sitting on the, no, it's her uncle, isn't it? Sorry. I think I know my own book. She turned quickly to her uncle sitting on the opposite side. I found it strange he had not spoken. Uncle, uncle, are you unwell? Juliet let go of my hand and stood trying to revive her uncle. I stood up to help her when her voice became frantic. She let out a cry. Someone help me, please, someone help me. He isn't breathing. An older gentleman bustled forward. I am a doctor, please stand back. He felt Lord Cameron's pulse in his neck. By the look of the man's deathly paleness, I believe the diagnosis was obvious. I'm sorry, my dear, but he is dead. No doubt from a heart attack by the looks of things. Juliet put her hand to her mouth and stifled a loud sob and then began crying. There were more startled cries. I placed my hands on her shoulders from behind to give her comfort, but her two stepbrothers came forward, summoned from another room. After assessing the situation and seeing their stepfather sitting dead in the chair with a frown, they pulled her away from me. We will deal with our sister, they both chorused. I was pushed away as the family and Lady Huntley's staff dealt with the situation. I did not see Juliet again that night or for 2 long weeks, despite calling on Lady Huntley to discover Lady Gordane's address and whereabouts. She would not give them to me. The family wanted to be alone and grieve. The new master of the house would not permit any visitors, and she was respecting the family's wish for privacy. Every attempt I had made to ascertain Juliet's whereabouts was thwarted. It had been the first time the family had communicated with my social circle that night, and no one knew enough about them bar Lady Huntley to assist me. I refused to give up. There had to be a way to find her. Okay. So, the strange experience I had with that was about the man in it and the stalking. I've talked about my... sorry, I can feel somebody walk across the room to me as I say that. This person from the other side that I've talked about will not stop stalking me, and it seems to be a very complicated thing because they cannot remove him entirely, and I can't either. So he's here for some reason to do with the books. Oh, I've got a burning in my leg here, and that means somebody's come close to me. And it's this constant triangle. Okay, with my twin flame in spirit, who I've talked about, who I met through this, writing this book. And at first I thought that it's 2 sides of him. But I don't know. This person will not give up, will not go away. And as I was reading that, it struck me that was really poignant in the book and that I'd written about it. And it's in every single book I write. This person, I can see a face here. I don't know if you can see him. It's a face here. I think what I might do is some spirit faces after this. But I may load that version just for the members to see. I don't know. They'll get a slightly different version to this. But it's very odd. There is something that is deep in the past that he will not let go of, and I am haunted. And what's even more weird is before I read that bit out, I got these cards, and it's going to take me a minute to find them, but these are my own tarot cards. Very, very strange. I got You Will Never Know here, and I got Isis. I got Iron. I got he, she, they. Now, there is something that happens in this story about he, she, they that I wrote this back in 2009 that I can't tell you because it will spoil the story. But trust me, that is relevant. And then I started getting North Korea victory and all that. So that's a channel message about something. But it was this, you will never know he, she, they. And I keep getting I am not being heard as well. I'm sure there was another card. What was it? Loss, I think I got. Interdimensional. So this being could be interdimensional. Narcissist, definitely. Will not let go. Portal, disappear. Brotherhood. Not seeing anything of relevance. Ghost. Lyran. He could be an interdimensional being. I have shared lives with him, that's for sure. And it's very strange. I had an odd dream last night. I was, I'm not going to go into it too much, but basically, I think it was because I've been watching the Netflix documentary about John Gotti. And I remember being a kid at the time. I mean, I was, what was it, 85, so I was 15. And I remember it, and he was sort of in my dream, that's all I'm going to say. Now, I know from my past lives that in New York, I was daughter of a gangster family in the 1920s. I was also shot and killed in 1926. That's the last time I was on this planet. And I was a daughter. I keep questioning them. Have I ever been a man in my past life? No, that's not the way we chose. That's all I keep hearing. And he shot me. He's unalived me 4 times. Okay. And there's something about him stalking, not giving up, and stalking through lives. Now, if anybody says to me, tell him to go away, this, that, and the other, I have done that. I have had professional people who know how to get rid of spirits and what have you, and they can't make him. He comes back. He comes back. There are 3 others of them. I'm told there are 4 now, and they keep coming in. And it's something about giving flavor to the stories. He has to be there. I have requested that he is around. They can only push him out for so long, then he comes back in. Yes, he can. It's not just him. There are situations making me angry at the moment, but he comes in, and if he gets too close, he starts disrupting, so they'll pull him out. He keeps showing me a wedding ring. It's like, so I know, I've been told by other mediums that this man terrified people, and if there are people on this earth today who were around when he was very powerful in this life, not in past lives, if they knew he was not alive or around me or in the vicinity, they would be terrified. And that's what I was told. He was absolutely terrifying person. The abuse I've seen that I went through is just, and in one life he hung me from a rope. You can watch a thing on that. Oh, our battery's starting to go. But I ain't scared of him. Not now. He's pathetic. He will actually shoot weapons at me, and it'll come to me. It'll go straight through me, and I just look at him going, I am there. He can't hurt me. He cannot hurt me. He is here for a reason, and it's beyond the way we see things. So I have to accept that. I don't like it. And I end up shouting at him and doing all sorts of things. His face has appeared before on Spirit Things, so I might do that after this, but it'll be for members. So check out, but there's only 1 membership on it on this channel. So yeah, very interesting. It just struck me really strongly that that's what it was about. And I've seen my the guy who is Nathan fight with him. It's bizarre, and it's mirroring some big saga and story that goes on in other dimensions, and I have to write about it in this dimension. It has to come out, and it's all part of this, the hidden child. okay? And I strongly advise you, if you're interested in the story, to read the first bit, which is on my channel stories page. These things are going to be all available on my website, which is going up on Monday. I'm getting that sorted. You'll be able to buy the books again. The extra bits, there are going to be videos, there's going to be all sorts of things going on there. Podcast works. I'm really stepping it up, and it's all joining together. And I've written 3 books to this, and then I've written books off it, and it's all connected, this hidden child. If you want to know more about that, please you can check it out in the main channel. There's a reading of it on the main channel, that adds Soraka and Ross, or I prefer you to go to the channel stories one that I've set up, which explains everything and does a reading. You only get the reading on that one. We're going to go and do a bit of a reading and see what comes out. But I found that really, there are people here trying to keep him away from me. And I was told by this medium that he, after this life, because I dealt with something, he wouldn't be able to bother me as much, or he's been bothering me on the other side. How that works, I don't know, but that's what I was told. The other thing I was told, I was stalked on a train. 95. Me too. I've had sexual harassment. I've had all sorts of stuff. I mean, we're talking, went to a tribunal for that at work, because I had to complain. And it's just like this thing's been following me around for years. It follows loads of women around, you know. We've all can say we've had something, but it's like a divine, it's like this, and it's almost like a breakaway part of the divine masculine. I don't know, we'll have a look at that in a minute. But this guy, he, the medium I went to, she told me he was this guy, stalking me on the train. That's really scary. Oh, he'd been born. I don't know how it worked, but she told me it was him. And this guy, so I had to contact the transport police and everything. It was awful. He terrified the one of the guys, one of the partners in the firm, the solicitors where I was training, terrified the guy on the train with me. He just kept standing over me and staring like that, much what he does now. So it's freaky. It's really, really freaky. I give him this iron. Massive change. 4 days. Massive change is coming within 4. Past life, look. Past life. I'll get that one. Hidden. So there's some information coming to me within 4 days. The cabinet. Now that's the other thing I say. When I look at my eyes, I get a reflection of somebody, yeah, right? I can see, I've told you, they project images all over me. We've got these little UAPs. I talk more about them on my channel, to the Stars channel. And they come over my eyes and they're projecting things at me all the time. And I can look in the mirror sometimes and I can see into another dimension just in my pupils. Sounds crazy, but this is how they show it to me. And there are all these people, so these men sitting around a table, and they're called the cabinet in this instance. So, conspiracy, evolve. Okay, so let's see what this means for me, shall we? And you out there, you know, you do bring your past life baggage with you, and it doesn't go away. I have had a lot of anger episodes, there's been a lot to be angry about. If I told you everything in my life that happened, and possibly if you told somebody else about yours, they'd say, and I did have somebody say to me, wow, you do have a lot to be angry about. Yeah, there are people in the world that have worse things. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's what's going on in your life. And I try to keep a handle on it, but sometimes I'm pushed the limits. So the universe is getting a ticking off from me at the minute. So it ain't listening. But anyway, let's have a look, see what's going on here and what this can mean for you and help you out with. It's very spooky. I didn't realise, as I say, I've been telling people, I haven't read it for a long time like this. And the messages I got in it were just phenomenal. So let's have a look. What is this talking about? Vampire, I'm using vampire cards, okay? So Lord of Grails. So this is King of Cups. It's almost like he comes in two aspects. Nice. And then this is Jekyll and Hyde thing. And I find that very reminiscent of the way the divine masculine is at the moment. Now, we all have masculine female in us, but let's face it, the divine masculine has not been on its best behaviour, has it? And the divine feminine, what's on the planet at the minute, that aspect of it, has been like not letting them get away with it. No, we're starting to really fight now. But in the past, there was some sheep sort of quality, like, let's not, you know, let's just follow them. There is an aspect of that. There are different aspects of everything, and there will be part of that in the masculine one as well. So now the divine feminine that I see coming in is coming to get going, we'll sort this out, yeah, not taking any prisoners, and is a different, tougher thing. Xena warrior princess they're showing me, yeah, that kind of feminine aspect. So yeah, oh look, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she can change the world. They keep showing me the titles of it because they come in visual language. They come in all different ways. My teams, I work with quite a few spirit teams and aliens, and they come in and they give me messages in different ways, and they're playing the music, everything with a sword, and she's on a horse, and then which and that's the aspect of the divine feminine that's coming in to counteract this out of control, violent part of the divine masculine. So I keep getting that. Have we got these the right way? No. Yeah, now we have. I don't know if I have them all over the place, these cards at the minute. So what else do we need to know? Lord of Knives, yeah. So this is analysing, cutting out which is no longer needed. Toxicity. Now the story is about acknowledging all the different parts of you and the aspects. At first I kept wondering, well, there's this aspect of Nathan that's come out that he doesn't even know about, which is possible. I don't know what I was writing. I'm not going to go into that, the death of the author crap and all this. I argued with them at university when we did the history of I was doing history. I did my MA in history, but it was a new thing at the time. Now it's all the rage, where you find out history from the fiction books. Well, I'm finding out my channeled messages from these books, so similar thing. But they were talking about Roland Barthes, you know, critical theory and, you know, literature, and how it was the death of the author and rubbish, you know, and this knowing what you're putting in at the time and things like that. No, you don't. I've gone back through a few things, and I thought, it's like I'm saying now, oh, so I was actually, even though I didn't know who this guy was at the time, I was writing about him, and I've written about him in a previous book called The Devil You Know. So I was, obviously somebody was trying to give me a message about him, and he was violent, horrible, you know. Is it the divine masculine part of Juliet? No, I hope not. But you never know. I don't know what I was trying to say. So we've got Lord of the Knives, who is the King of Swords, which is cutting out things that no longer are needed, toxicity, whatever it is, changing things up. But it's also, I mean, these two kings here. Very masculine aspect. Right, we've got this upside down. Daughter of Grails. So this is the Page of Cups. Or an aspect like the Page of Cups. Bringing in a message that has not been heard. I keep getting not being heard, not being heard. I want to go and be one of those lonely people and bang on the wall in a minute. I came in at 2 o'clock this morning. My heart rate woke me up. Bang, bang, bang. My heart was going like that. Thank God. Counting the days. Get my home this year. Ace of Skulls. So there's something, a message is not being listened to. We have 2 kings. A message it's not being listened to about cutting something out. A war. This is masculine aspect of being at war. Being at war within the self. Sorry, look, I never expected this story to be about divine masculine, divine feminine, but it definitely is. Message that's not being heard. Ace of Skulls, something that's overwhelming the feminine at the moment. Feminine aspect within female, male, gender. A new journey has to begin. 9 of Skulls, which is 9 of Pentacles, a lot of independence. And you trying to keep 2 figures, there are 2 figures in the story trying to subdue the feminine. What are the two aspects of divine masculinity trying to keep? All right, okay, they're giving it to me. There's the one that is the violent one, and then there's the one who you need my protection, blah, 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 because you can't function in the world. And this message has not been listened to, I'm squashed here. I don't need you, but I'm squashed. I'm putting that in the middle there. And then we've got Ace of Skulls, which is something overwhelming. And now there's a new journey beginning. Okay. And we have, do you want that upside down or straight? The new journey has been blocked so far. Okay. Nope. Right. 3 of Skulls. You've got to keep building it. This is for me as well. I feel that I'm sandwiched in the middle in my own life between 2 masculine figures. This creepy guy and my ex-husband I'm trying to get away from, monetary wise. So that's what I could be writing about. But there's definitely this thing about trying to break free. So this has been, it's almost like a divine feminine was coming in. It was happening, and then it was blocked again. Okay, so we've got to keep building and trying again. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning. Stalking. Oh my God. She's skipping. I'm sorry, I will come back. Okay, sorry about that. So we have Prince of Grails. Now, every time I look, that is the Prince of Cups offering something. But every time I look at it, I see him with binoculars. It's the way his hands are, right? And I don't know. I don't know what this is. This is something draining. This is something sinister. Stalking. Stalking all women, apparently. Oh, well, this is nice. It's a lot of... What's that me doing that? Before I put this video on, there was a big flash on my camera. I hadn't touched it. There was no reason for it to do that. So we've got Daughter of Scepters. Prince of Knives, who is I see this card as the Page of Swords, which stalker. It's just coming out all over. What is it? What's the darkness stalking? Four of Knives. It's a bit bloody, that one. Which is about resting. This is something dark from the past that keeps stalking and coming forward. Wanting to unalive and want to keep down. This is a darkness. It's almost like a darkness in society, but it's almost like primal. Ooh. This is bizarre. I never expected this. Quite dark. I'm just going to ground. Put some white light around me. Okay. So we've got Ace of Knives. It keeps trying to block this change because it's upside down again. Six of Knives. Something from the past. I still see it's something from the past. Now, he looks like my character in Nathan. Six of Knives is usually, it's Six of Swords and it's going away from trouble. But I see seeing something in the distance from the past coming towards me, you, the world. It's a dark primal force. Okay. Can you tell us more about this dark primal force, please? Which cards do you want me to go? Being aware. I keep getting about this year being about the invisible becoming visible. Ace of Cups. There's something being brought forward. Temperance. Being wary of it. Remember, I use these cards as a illustration of the channel message I'm getting. King of Cups. Somebody wanting to negotiate and present themselves as something they aren't. Ace of Pentacles. This is a new future. What is this dark primal? This dark primal force is trying to refashion itself to make itself more palatable, but it's not. It still has this underlining beast quality to it, which is causing worry. Happens in relationships. Queen of Cups. Giving poison to drink. Where that came from. There is something here. Again, the new journey starts. There is a new journey again. It's almost like the Divine Feminine's been blocked by this dark primal force quite a few times. There's manipulation here. There's manipulation on the planet from the dark. Could be alien as well, but it's definitely trying to keep, it keeps resurging. How do we beat it then? We keep working. Eight of Pentacles, we keep working at it. Anything good for the future? Rejecting something. The Five of Cups, rejecting. And now this is where it goes, the Knight of Swords. Something rushing in. The Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, causing conflict, slow work. Well, this can be about my book, that bit. But it's, what is this? Judgment, a big change. Slow work. This is all being slow work. It is a message about the dark primal force that is underpinning the divine masculine, that has been using the divine masculine, enslaving humanity to keep humanity in one place and women down. He, she, they, yeah? It's manipulation. Always at cross purposes. Right, can you tell me, oh, I mean, look at that. And now it's upside down. So coming out of that, escaping, feeling trapped for no reason. It's almost like a spell, an illusion, this fog that now there's fog coming in here. It's fog that keeps everyone stuck. Let's keep trying again. Message from a child coming in. The hidden child brings a message for things to change. The hidden child is the fish. Yeah. Fish out of water. This hidden child is a fish out of water who gives a message from the sea, from the emotions. Okay. Tries to break the spell. Right, okay, so they're now showing me this team who comes in visually. Buffy and the gentleman. They have shown me the silence from Doctor Who. Showed me that the other day. I mean, can you imagine that? They're showing you that image and they're walking around the room. It's like, no, thank you. But the gentleman episode, where everybody loses their voice, not being able to speak out, being squashed, not being heard. I'm not being heard. If you watch that, it's honestly, it's all about not being heard. And their voices are taken. And Buffy has to go and rescue everyone, and she has to basically open the box with all the voices in that they've taken and scream. So it destroys them. And it's that kind of thing that's going on here. So this is a message of freedom and of embracing the dark and light both within and without, and living in accordance with that. What the heck? Let's finish it somewhere. Yeah, Knight of Cups, the wish. The wish will be granted. Freedom will be granted. Okay. But for now, you need to have strength and fight the battles. And there's this protection here. Now, I'm often shown a lion and I'm told that's my guide, but this protection, but you have to be leading the fray. So the Divine Feminine has to be leading the fray, but the Divine Masculine has to be backing her up here as well. Wow, well, I didn't expect that. I hope that has helped you, whoever you are, whether you're female, male, he, she, they, whatever, because we all have those aspects within us. And I know I've operated on a lot of masculine energy for a long time, and it's worn me out, quite frankly. So that is what the universe is bringing to us at the moment. And yeah. Okay. Very interesting. I don't think there's anything more to say on it. Sorry, my battery's gone. I don't think there's any more to say on it. So I'm going to leave it there. Now I'm probably going to do two different readings for this. I may read some different bits for each channel. I'm going to put this on my channel messages one. I'm going to read a different bit from it. These books, everything, are going to be available. But I think I'll do a different bit on the channeled stories one. And I'll do maybe a different bit on the main channel as well. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to do some spirit faces. If you want to see those bits where I get images over my face, spirit coming over, and this version of the reading, then without adverts as well, please go to become a member, and you'll be able to say that. Okay, thank you for supporting the channel. Even if you don't, just by watching this is fantastic. Please like, share, subscribe. Let's get these messages out to as many people as possible. And next week I'll be able to give you a link for my website. I'm going to be doing podcasts on there, all about research. I've been doing a lot of research on some very strange folklore stuff and everything, monsters, the works. So I'm going to put it all on there. There are going to be other types of books, thrillers. If you want any of the naughty stuff, you're going to have to go to Inca or Amazon for that. But this is going to be all just on this website. Non-fiction, writing about what's going on in my life and what I've noticed about the world, channeled messages, all sorts. It's going to be on there. Yeah, so check that out next week. And as I say, if I if this is where I say goodbye, thank you for watching, and take care, and I shall see you next time. Thanks, bye.